give you my business email, and I'm going to give you my my Gmail as well. So I'm just typing it in the chat. There's the one, and there's my Gmail as well. Okay. If you send a message to me, rather send a WhatsApp, because it's quicker for me to, if I send the WhatsApp, then I immediately can go and look at the email. If anyone needs support or want to have a chat about anything that we've done in the week, then you can just tell me, Krista, can we chat about this? And then we can work out time zones. And so I'm willing to put about an hour and a half each day, even if it's 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes per student, if you want to have one-on-ones, also in terms of certain things with me, so that you don't always have to wait for the class. Will that help?
Yes. Could you please tell us what is your time zone?
Ours is to South Africa, so from EST to South Africa, this is 3 o'clock in South Africa at this stage, so that you can just work out the time zones from your side.
Okay.
Okay. Then the other thing is, I can't remember if it's somebody who's present in this class. Somebody asked the previous time, have done entrepreneurship the previous semester? Is it anyone in this class presently now here who have done the entrepreneurship the previous semester? I just want to see how many of you are there. Okay, so Lizette, you. Who else did, okay, so I'm just going to check quickly, the hands are up. So I'm going to write the names down and then just say if you are, so it's Matar. You have done it the previous time. Olena. And Nuran. And Didi. Okay, is it only the 4? I just want to see of, okay, so only the 4. Anyone else? I'm just going to repeat the question for if somebody came late. Any one of you who have done the entrepreneurship the previous semester, apart from Lizette, Matar, Olena, Noran, and Didi?
Rhodas also was.
Who, Lizette?
Rhodas.
Okay. So what the university has asked me to do is they have sent me a link on Wednesday of the slides of the previous semester. So what I'm going to do this coming week, I'm going to work through all those slides. I'm going to map the 2 courses to see what has been done there and what is in there, so that if there is a duplication, the only thing that I cannot take out for people who haven't done it is the finance part. Okay, so what I will do then on the finance part is, because that is very practical, those of you who have done it, but I will just make double sure with Sarah so that I can get a name list of who have done entrepreneurship the previous semester. Then I'm going to map those 14 chapters and the 18 chapters of this semester to see where are the overlaps. Where there are overlaps, they have given me carte blanche to redesign the course in a way that you don't have to do a repeat on that. On the only ones with finances, I will then need to see what have you done on finance, so that I can, because my background is finance and I also lecture to other institutions for the MBA's finance. So I have amazing content on finance. So for those, then I will develop new content so that there is not a repeat. But even if I need to give for those of you who have done it, additional exercises that there's no repeat on that. Okay. So I'm going to try my best, but it's a good challenge. It's just I need a week extra to go through through all the materials and to map it across. Okay. So before we...
Hello, Professor. Can you hear me?
Yes, Rodas?
Did you request anything from me? Because I was having connection problems. But I heard someone mention my name.
Lizette has mentioned your name. So
did you request anything from me?
What I've asked the class, so anyone who hasn't, so I have 5 names here: Lizette, Matar, you, Rodas, Didi, Nuran, and Elena. But I also will check with Sarah just to make double sure that I haven't missed a name. I've asked who of you have done entrepreneurship the previous semester, and your friend Lizette has said Rodas has done it. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 names, including yours, but I will check with Sarah so that I'm going to map this coming week. I've printed out here, you can see is the last semester pack, and here I've printed out so it's 18 chapters for this semester, and last semester here you can see I've printed out the 14 and the 18 chapters. So I'm going to map it this coming week to see where there are potential duplications, and then where I need to redesign outside McGraw, I'm going to bring in the entrepreneurship things that we also use in practice to make it quite nice and stimulating and not just theory from the next session. Okay.
I also attended that
okay,
course
makes sense.
last
Thank you.
semester.
Just somebody spoke?
Yeah, Professor. I just attend also. Sorry, I missed your speech about this. I also attend. I attend the
Okay.
entrepreneur in the last semester, Ashraf.
Okay, Ashraf, I'm writing it down. Ashraf, I'm just going to, because there might be students not here, so I'm just going to check with Sarah to make double sure that I don't only have the names that is in this class, so that I know who of you have attended last semester, so that the ones who's new this semester don't miss out the riches of this semester, but you guys who has done it before, that I can bring in new things for you. If I need to delete stuff, then I'll bring it in. Okay. Okay. Now I just want to check in with everybody where you are in terms of have you found your feet on Moodle? Have you looked at what has been uploaded on week 1 so far? Is there anybody that needs support to access the link for the book and everything? You all okay? Okay. So
For myself,
yes, John?
sorry, I'm Muhammad Matar. For myself, I couldn't open the EPUB file. I tried, but I couldn't open. So if you can just send me like a link for this or a PDF file, so I can just download it, it will be much better.
Matar, we don't have a PDF. We have requested, but they said they will send one to us, which I will follow up with Sarah again. I don't even have a PDF. So I just need to know that who's struggling to open that link so that I can ask the university, because the only one who has the capability to drop that link in there is from the university. So anyone who's struggling to open it can maybe just give me your details so that I can ask Sarah from Windsor and them to help you to open it. When I asked them the last time, they've said if we only focus on the slides, but obvious there's more richness in the book. So if I have the names of who's struggling to open it, then I know the university must help those students from the IT perspective to open it. So I'm going to put your name in. Is there anyone else who struggles to open that link?
Yes, I think someone else wrote on the chat.
Okay, I will follow. I'll go back to the chat, and I will also follow up with to see if she has been helped, because I've asked in that chat for Sarah and them to help.
Okay, thank
you. You mustn't put off. That was a beautiful smile that I saw on the camera just before you put it off. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start. I'm going to open quickly. Oh, the other thing that I want to mention to you is why we have sent out a cancellation of the previous link, and I've sent out a new date, a link. Afterwards, we asked Sarah, can they follow up, because I didn't have the permission to drop things in the chat or files. So they have looked into it. They said they cannot explain why it happens, but the IT has asked that we cancel that one where I don't have permission to drop, and we sent out a new link. So that's why we cancelled, so that you just know it was because of a functionality issue that had to be sorted out. Okay. So
Professor,
let me.
I have a question about quizzes. How many questions in the quiz? Because I see that time limitation, like 15 minutes. So how many questions in the quiz? Is it enough time, I mean, to answer all?
So we're going to have uploaded all the assignments. You can just hold on 10 minutes. And how long? 15 minutes. Okay. So there are 3 assignments. I just want to bring up, I just want to ask Mpilo to quickly load my my PowerPoint. I've brought in the assignments in there. Mpilo, can you quickly upload my PowerPoint? Those questions are coming from the McGraw book. What we need to change, and I'll ask Mpilo to sit and change it now while we have the class, because all the date said it must be done by the 28th today. So I'm going to ask Mpilo just to change that till next Saturday. Let me just quickly, I think this is chapter 1. Just see which one, Mpilo. Yes, just go to this one. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so on that one, can you all see in front of you the slides slide share?
Yes.
Okay, so on those questions is I'm going to get through it. I've brought all the assignments in here, which I just want you to take it through it. I just want to see if this is the right one Mpilo has uploaded. Yeah, it's the right one. So the first thing is just, can you see in front of you, it's the grading scale?
No. It's an attitude toward thinking and learning survey, and that's it.
Okay.
This is a different slide. This one is like assignments.
No, that's not the one. Maybe I was just taking it over to my screen. Okay. Okay, can you see in front of you now the grading scale?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so after the session last week, because we took the one that was in the document given to us, Sarah then has indicated to us, no, that was the wrong sliding scale. I think it was 2 professors, myself and another professor. So they've asked us to update this one to you. So for the course, it's going to be, if you get below 70, it's fail. Now, I don't want anybody to fail. So I don't mark like what is in the book. I really go into what are you bringing from your perspective as well. So I'm going to make it as easy as possible for you. I've given you the structure last week. I'm going to work out a new structure with you for you this week. After I've mapped the 2 courses, I'm going to work out also for you like a little dashboard to say, okay, so if you need to get below 70 and they want to divide this for quizzes, this for exams, this for that, I'm going to make a very, very clear dashboard for you this coming week so that it's easy for you to follow. Then I'll also break it down for you to say, okay, to get to the 70, you need to have at least in this, let's say in the quizzes, this, in the exam, this, and that portion, that, so that because you're all very, all of you are working full time, you're busy and you don't want to go and struggle and find stuff. So my coming week is going to sort out everything and make it very easy for you. If there are any concerns or worries, or you have something with family, or you have a problem responding to a deadline, please send me just a WhatsApp so that I myself and Apilo, we can see how can we maybe make it the assignments, make it a few days later or a week later for you as well. So I really want to make it as easy as possible for you. So this is the one. So if you want to take a screenshot, but after this class, we're going to upload, tomorrow's Monday, we're going to upload this as well. But and I'll also drop the PDF of the presentation to you as well in the chat. So let me quickly see if I can do. Still not. I can't drop anything yet. Okay, so we'll sort it out with Sarah. Any questions on the grading before I go on?
Sorry, Professor, can you please drop it in the WhatsApp group? Is it possible?
On the what?
WhatsApp?
Okay, on the WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Okay, so can I drop it for you guys there? Okay, just what on the WhatsApp? What must I do there?
Yeah, I
Can
said,
I drop?
yeah, if you are not able to drop it in the Teams. So either you can.
Yeah, I'm going
email
to
it
drop
or
it here
drop
for
it in
you. I'm
WhatsApp.
going to drop it here for you. So let me quickly do week 1. So I'll just follow with the university app why I can't drop. Okay. Let me just quickly go to Windsor. My semester. Okay. I'm dropping it there. I'm just writing a small business admin. Okay, so remember, this will be the last week that you're going to have a peer a post or a peer PowerPoint on this chapter. From next week, I'm going to remove stuff from this chapter. I'm going to add stuff to accommodate those students that's going to that had entrepreneurship as well. So just check quickly. I have posted in the WhatsApp for you the PDF of the presentation. Just check if you can see it. Can you all see it?
Yes, I
Okay,
got
so
it.
okay, so open this, go to that page where you can see this one with the grading, so that I just know that you all can see that. And so Winnie, you can also not link. Let me just write here, Winnie. Is there anyone else that cannot open that ebook so that I can just give your names? I have Mata's name and I have Winnie's name. Okay. So those are the points. Those who want to go for a plus or a minus in the top corner, the top block, you know, you need to work to get a 3.67. Those of you that's going to go between a 3.3 and a 2.67, that's in the middle block. It's just for those who don't work with the GPA system is like in South Africa, we don't work with that system. But let's say if we want to go to any overseas university, then they will ask us what is our GPA. So, for example, when I did my PhD, so luckily I had that scale. So I got a 3.67 over the 7 years. So it's very important if you want to go and study, for those of you want to go on to doctorates or DBAs or do other courses as well. Okay, but I will help you with that. Can I go on with that? Any questions or comments? Okay. Okay, so on the next one, you will see there's going to be I'm first going to go through it just to get your structure for the assignments for next week. Do not worry about the date. I'm going to, Mpilo, can you hear me? You need to please change all the dates already while we're in this session to make it for, let's say, expire next Sunday, so that they have at least 7 days to do the 3 assignments. So I'm first going to, just for structure, go through the assignments, then I will page back. So the one thing is there's a survey that is an attitude towards learning, thinking and learning survey. So that also comes from the McGraw-Hill text. But for me, what it's going to give an insight into each one of you is to say, where are you in terms of your mindset? I don't like the word attitude, but your mindset in terms of thinking and learning. What is important is what these tests is like garbage in, garbage out, and it's only as valuable as you have honestly answered it in that moment. So if you were sick and you didn't want to do that survey and you're just going to choose certain things, that is that's why the value that we only get from surveys is what we put in it. So truly answer it as honest as possible. There's not a right or wrong thing. The moment you've submitted the survey, I will work out the marks for each one. But the moment you've submitted the survey, you're going to get your mark for submission already. So it's not going to be you get lesser marks, you've submitted, and therefore you will get your mark. And those I will work out tomorrow and then drop in the group as well. Then the second thing, I'll come back to the other slides. There's another survey. This is this one in terms of your attitude. That's the first assignment. So that I just go through all the assignments with you, and then we'll go back to the chapter slides. So this specific one is I'm going to assess to say how open are you towards critical thinking? So the question is focused on critical thinking, creativity, and lifelong learning. There are 20 questions there. There's not a, as far as I remember, there's not a time limit to that one. So that is a quick one that you can do. Then the second assignment this is a longer assignment. Also coming from the text, which is called the Entrepreneurial Self-Efficacy Scale. This one I'm going to go through you as we've done through the first slide. Okay, so I will go through that with you in the time we have now together. Then the third assignment is, I just want to quickly go to that assignment. Okay, there's only one forum where you need to discuss. That is the entry competencies. So on this one, I have highlighted for you in the middle, but I'll also go through it with you later in the session again. I just want you to know, so the first one is a quick survey. The second one is an individual assignment. This one specifically is a forum. So by Wednesday, you need to have, you must do a post. And normally we do it around 200 words. Okay. And then by Friday, by Saturday, just so that we can give you an extra day, is by Saturday, you need to respond to another student forum in terms of critical thinking. Where you agree or not agree, but always remember kindness is in posts is very important. So I'm going to go through it again with you. Then the last, I think that this is the last one where I think the question was around. This is also the guidance given from the text. It's a 15-minute and the pass rate is 7 out of 10. And that's just a quiz so this one obvious in terms of the quiz is your marks 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 will then pro rata calculate to the actual calculations or the actual grading system. So after each chapter, there will be a chapter quiz in terms of this one. You can have 2 attempts to do this. If you feel that the 15-minute, I'll just check with them for Pilo if the 15-minute is set by them. Otherwise, I don't really, for me, it's not important whether you take 15 minutes or 30 minutes. So I'll just check with them, Pilo, if we can make it longer. For me, it's not about the time limit. For me, it's about the learning reflection that you can get from that. Okay, so are there any questions? I know we haven't gone through the detail. It's just I've listed there were 4 assignments, an individual survey. There's then another survey, a group forum, and then the end of chapter module. Are there any questions around that? Is a week enough for you? I just would prefer that we finish as we go into a next chapter that we've done with the previous chapter work.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, please.
When I looked into the week 1 end of module quiz, okay, I found that it is giving me it's overdue. And
It's yeah.
Sunday, which is today, 11, I mean, like 12 a.m. So I don't know why it was overdue, although we did not even start. Should I answer it before
No,
we do?
No.
Should I read
No.
answer?
No,
Okay.
I'm going to ask him, Pilo, he's my IT person. I'm just
Yes.
going to ask him to make the due date for next Sunday.
Okay. Because when I logged in, I found it overdue, so I started answering it quickly.
No, don't stress. We've
And I
started.
passed already. It's okay because it was
You
asking
passed.
about entrepreneur. Yes, I got 110 out of 10 because it's just it's talking me with me about the entrepreneurial, and I have just finished it last semester. So the question is little bit I got it from my overview about entrepreneurship. So I passed in this quiz, but I was a little bit astonished that it is overdue before we start. That's it. So this was my question.
No, perfect. I just want to quickly, Pilo, can you come online? Can you put your mic on?
Good morning, everyone. And those who are in South Africa, good afternoon.
Hello.
Pilo, So Mpilo is my IT whiz. So Mpilo, will you, while we sit here, change the due date to next Sunday at midnight?
Definitely, I'll do that. I set a condition that if you open it will force you, it will start to count down the 15 minutes. So if you open it, you have to
Okay.
complete it, but I will switch that off and
Yeah, but for all
set the
four,
due date to
right?
next week.
All four. It's the survey, the learning survey, the assignment one, the forum, and the end of week module. Change all four of them till next Sunday midnight.
Noted, ma'am. We'll do that.
Okay. And then can we make the 15 minutes longer?
Yes, that's possible as well.
Okay. Can you make it to 30 minutes?
30 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Noted.
Okay. Are you all okay? We're making it to 30 minutes. Okay. Perfect. Congratulations to those who already did it and passed so well. So please in future, if there's any worry or any question, just send me a private WhatsApp and said, Krista, I'm worried about this, or I have a concern here, or I have a question here. So I love teaching, and for me, it's the next 12 weeks. I'm going to grow with you. I'm going to give you a part of my life, and I don't want anybody to worry about studies or timing or this. I'm really here to support you. So if there's any concern or any question or anything you don't understand, especially if English is not your first language, please, I'm very patient. So just drop me a WhatsApp and I will come to you back the same day. Just remember, we are 7 hours after Eastern time. Okay. Is everybody happy with the approach? Okay, good. Thank you. So today is going to go just remember, it's the last time that you're going to get the slides as you have it. So what we will do from next time is just for the others to also have the richness. If you want, I can upload both the I can upload every week 3 packs of slides. The one is just for those who loves to learn and go and do the benchmarking also. I can upload the entrepreneurial one, which the other students have done. I can upload the one of the cat's book as you have now, and then upload the third slide is the one that I'm actually going to do with you. So would you prefer that I only upload one or that I upload all 3 so that you can have the richness then of the blossom method and the pure cuts one and then the combination? What would you prefer? Can I maybe just by a raise of hands, if you would prefer that I upload every week all 3? Okay, so one set. Just put your hands maybe up so that I can quickly see who of you prefer all 3. Okay.
Which one are we going to be tested from?
This week I'm going to, obviously the first module is coming from the CATS one, but the one that I'm going to test you on thereafter is the one that I'm going to make a combination between the 2. That's what the weekend modules will be. But the practicals is I'm going to bring in other things on entrepreneurship that actually is more benchmarking things we use every day in entrepreneurship. So those I will bring into the practicals. But the end of the week, actually, it's a very good question, which I haven't finalized yet. I'm going to test you on the one I'm going to design. Okay. So 5 of you Okay, so I'm going to given you all of them. Is that okay? Okay, so let's go on with the physical chapter 1 in the CATS book that you have this week. Thank you so much for that sharing. So some of you are in business, some of you are not in business. Now there's a difference in an entrepreneurship, so that you remember there is entrepreneurship and there's intrapreneurship. And I'm going to just type it for you. Beautiful. Okay. So there's entrepreneurship versus intrapreneurship. Who of you have heard about the difference between entrepreneurship versus intrapreneurship? Any one of you heard? Mansoor and Yusuf. Okay, you guys said I must use the Muhammad's surnames, eh? So who of you wants to share with the others what is the difference, or both of you, what is your understanding of what is the difference between entrepreneurship versus intrapreneurship? Who wants to go? There's 2 hands up, Yusuf and Mansoor. Yusuf? Is your hand up for to volunteer? What's the difference between the two? Mansoor? Mansoor?
Yes, Professor. I'm hearing. So, if I'm
yes.
not incorrect, I think the difference is that entrepreneur starts his or her own company,
Yes.
whereas an entrepreneur works at a company started by somebody else. So I think
Yes.
this could be the difference.
Beautiful. So in the chat, the one with the E, that entrepreneurship, there's another hand up. Hussein, did you wanted to share?
Yes, I think entrepreneurship is the person who start his own company, and entrepreneurship is that the person who works at this company that someone else founded.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. Mansoor, did you wanted to give something different on that?
No, Professor, it was just that.
Okay, beautiful. So an entrepreneur is like
Professor.
you all, yes.
So does this mean that the entrepreneur is like an employee, right?
The one with the I, the
With the I
entrepreneur.
is an employee.
Yes. So
okay, great.
And I'll explain to you the difference also. If you look at start looking at job boards, whether it's LinkedIn or people advertising for employees, they will say they need entrepreneurial thinking. Okay, I'm just going to write it. They will say they are looking for to employ entrepreneurial thinking. Okay. They are looking for to employ somebody with entrepreneurial thinking. Now that means that that company wants to employ any one of you, are looking for somebody who's an intrapreneur. Okay, and did I spell it? Intrapreneur. So that means is if you are having your own company, so some of you can be both. Because if we listen to what you've said, Yusuf, is your hand still up, Yusuf? Do you want to add something, Yusuf? Not. Okay. So if you have your own business, then you're an entrepreneur. But if you're working for somebody and it's a company which has entrepreneurial thinking, That means those companies are looking for employees that are entrepreneurs, the I. And if you, so I'm also teaching in the world of the future, the future world of work. So I'm teaching on a lot of stuff, from systems thinking to design thinking to a lot of other things. But when we work with teams and we teach them in terms of the future world of work and what is needed from employees in terms of the future world of work. One of the things is, so where you hear critical thinking, design thinking, systems thinking, innovativeness, creativity, all those characteristics that companies are looking for in employees, that falls under being they are looking for entrepreneurial thinking. And that means that company actually are very entrepreneurial, with the I. Some of you have your own businesses. We've gone through it last week. Some of you have your own businesses, but you also work for other companies. That means those companies are so fortunate to have you because you have a natural characteristic that you are bringing into your corporate, into your company, which is entrepreneurial thinking. So that means you are both an entrepreneur in your own business and an entrepreneur in the company where you are working with. Do you all see the difference between the two? Okay, so that means also when we do, so I think this course is going to become a combination between entrepreneurship and small business administration if we put the two together and think outside the box, even if it's called small business administration. So don't only think about the next 12 weeks in terms of just small business administration. Also think about how do you take these concepts and bring it into your business, in your corporate where you are working as an entrepreneur, and bring the entrepreneurial thinking into your business. Any questions or comments on this?
Yes, Professor. Could you please clarify if I am entrepreneur? So I have a labor agreement with company, or it's a contraction kind of providing services or something like this?
Okay, so let's say you're not working for that company. You are a service provider.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
I just want to clarify.
I understand. Thank you.
Okay, so if Lizette, are you the one last week who are working with a lot of small entrepreneurs?
Yes.
Okay, so remember there are three things in three chains, if I can put it like that, in your specific business focus. You in the middle working with small businesses, but you also working with bigger businesses. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so you are an entrepreneur working with entrepreneurs. Okay, but because you're a service provider to a company, you are the entrepreneur. So let me, because it sounds so similar, you are the entrepreneur. Okay, but anyone of the people on the course who is an employee, they're not a service provider, they're an employee or even an independent contractor to a corporate that is, let's say, working like an employee. They will be an entrepreneur if they have developed that thinking of an entrepreneur. If they are working on that entrepreneurial thinking. Does that make, I know it sounds very similar, but does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, beautiful. Any other questions or comments on this? Okay, so if we go to the slide here, then you can see those who follows it on the PDF is They are from the CUTS textbook. They say there are basically 4 key ideas for starting entrepreneurial small business. And I would love also, Lizette, you working with entrepreneurs, your insights of what you find. So I'm going to go through it and then we're going to discuss it. So the first one is, and that's why you're going to do that survey to determine where are you in terms of do you believe you can be an entrepreneur? Those who are not entrepreneurs but intrapreneurs, you must answer it from that perspective as well. Because whether you want to be in a business one day, but you're in a corporate now and you have the entrepreneurial thinking, it's still the same thing. Do you believe you can do it if you're already an entrepreneur? And if you're not yet one, is do you believe you can become one in future? And that is referred as self-efficacy. And that is why you survey is one of the assignments, so that you can get that feedback, but also that's going to give me some insights, how to support you through this journey. The second one they say is, and I would love for you to give me your definition of success after this discussion. They say planning plus action equals success. We're going to come back with that now. The third one they say help helps. Now, all what that means is if you have a mentor, whether you're entrepreneur or intrapreneur, mentorships help. And I'm going to come back to this as well to say, do you have a mentor? Whether you're inside the organization or having your own business. And then the fourth one is, I love that, is do well, do get good. And that's going to be linked to what we're going to talk about, the CSI, the Corporate Social Initiative. Now, for me, is in the world we live, is they also refer it to, do you have a spirit of generosity? Are you giving back to communities around you? And that's what it said, do well. That means is if you are successful, do good to others. Then the table below where they just say the feel, I want you to make a note there, is that's actually passion. The feeling is, and we're going to come to the other part of entrepreneurship, is you get those entrepreneurs that come from opportunity. That's in one of the other slides. There's an opportunity and they start being an entrepreneur. Then you get entrepreneurs where they do it from necessity. They don't have another option. They need to put food on the table. And what is it that they can do? But then either one of, doesn't matter which one of the two, whether it is from opportunity driven or necessity. If you don't have a passion for what you are doing, whether it is as an entrepreneur or as an intrapreneur, the doing becomes difficult. The success becomes difficult because you're not doing it with the right heart and you're not doing it with the right intent. So I want to check in quickly with you. I want to check in quickly with you to say, what do you believe? They say here, planning plus action equals success, whether that's an entrepreneur or entrepreneur. What is your definition of success? And not long sentences. If you can say A plus B, like here, planning plus action, what would your definition be of success, whether as an entrepreneur or as an intrapreneur? And Lizette, I would love for you to share as well from your experience with entrepreneurs, small businesses as well. What do you see as the definition of success?
That my definition of success, it's calculation, planning, and action. because sometimes, it's a part of my job to prove people that they can be entrepreneurs, because sometimes they feel a lack of skill, sometimes they don't understand, do they they have enough money and so on. And during finding the field of their passion, let's say, and calculating properly, and after scheduling all the actions, we can get success. So I think it's the first finding a proper field, then it's a calculating, planning, and action.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for that sharing. Yusuf?
Yeah, I think the proper planning is a key. But after that, customer satisfaction and profit is my definition to success.
Okay, beautiful. Please, you all must come in. This is, we learn from each other by also sharing. Thank you so much for that, Yusuf. Who else want to share? Olena?
Yes, I suppose that experience plus efficiency is success, because when you have experience, when you have already background, and when you know your field and you're confident, it's the first step to success.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that, eh? Matawar?
Yes, I would think that success will start with setting the goals or my targets, then do the planning, then start the actions, then be flexible or agile in order to reach my plan, my goals or my targets, then to recheck every time, am I on the right way to reach what I want to go or not. At last, I need to reach the goals, maybe with some flexibility on the actions or whatever, but it has an overall side, starting from the setting the goal till reaching the goal itself.
Beautiful. Thank you. I love the flexibility part in that and the rechecking, because if you in small business, you can put all the best plans up in the world, and every day you might get a new a test or stumbling block that if you don't have flexibility. Especially, I don't know who of you have heard about the VUCA. We're living in a VUCA world. Have you heard about that?
Yes.
Okay. So who wants to share with the others what the V, the U, and the C, and the A stands for?
V, volatile, and U, uncertainty, and complexity, and ambiguity.
Beautiful.
This is indicate for this a lot of changes in nowadays business.
Beautiful. So, could you all hear, or must we type it just in the chat? I'm just typing it quickly. I think I made a spell uncertainty here. And C A. Okay. Okay, I've put it in there so that that's something you really, especially those in the corporate world as well, that people, if you start, you will hear a lot about we living in a VUCA world. And when we also work with teams in terms of the future work of world, is we do everything around the how are you going to not survive, going to thrive, into whether there's volatility or uncertainty and complexity and ambiguity. small businesses, and Lazette, you can also come in here, is small businesses experience that every day, especially those who have started with from a necessity point of view. Instead of an opportunity point of view. That means opportunity, like when I started my consultancy in 2011, a big bank has asked, Krista, can you come and do research for us for a year on supply development? I had an opportunity. But also, I had a necessity because I had 2 special needs children and I couldn't pay all the fees, what is it, the therapies just on a salary. So I had to create extra income. That's why some people will have the opportunity of businesses, but still stay in corporate, but also there are some other form of necessity why they also say yes to an opportunity. Okay. Then I want to ask you on this, who of you have mentors? Whether you in a business or in a small business, who of you have mentors? Yusuf.
I'm sorry, have what?
A
Have what? Sorry.
mentor. I'm going to
Mentor?
write it here. Yeah, mentor.
Mentor, that someone supporting or something like that, or helping, or
A mentor is somebody where it can be take a different form. The one is, let's say, you can go and sit with someone and soundboard. They won't judge, they won't criticize, but they can share their experience. To say, don't do that. If you from their experience, that would have worked or that wouldn't have worked. So whether you're in business, also those of you in business who climbs the corporate ladder, who wants to go from management to leadership and go higher on, it's always good to have a mentor in corporate. Small businesses, many times you don't know, or sometimes you don't know, is this the right thing or is this not the right thing? Then you, let's say with Lazat, with small businesses, they can go and sit with us. Some you pay, some pay for you, and some you volunteer to say, okay, I give you X hours of my time in a month. If you need to take a decision or you need to soundboard something, I'm available for you. Okay. So Ahmed, you have one.
I had one. He was a previous manager for me.
Yeah.
I would go to him either for issues related to work or issues related to my personal life, and he would give me his wisdom, his insight, and I really learned from him. I still like remember a lot of what he taught me.
Beautiful.
So yeah.
What Ahmed mentioned is for a mentor is, and that is helps. Okay, is Ahmed used the word wisdom, but also and he also mentioned that both his work and his personal life. Now that ask for trust. So if you go into whether in entrepreneurship, that whether you're in a corporate or in a small business, it's good to have somebody, a mentor who you can go and talk to. Helps. So those of you who don't have it, if you in small business or in entrepreneurship, it's good to have one if you can find the right person, because trust is key, so that it don't turn around and backfire to you. Trust is non-negotiable in mentorship because then helps. Okay. Any questions or comments that you wanted to give in terms of the importance of mentorship? Lizette, how do you find, because it sounds to me like you are a mentor to many of your small businesses.
Yes, mostly I'm like a mentor, but for myself, I have some, let's say, friends and former colleagues who are also entrepreneurs now. And when I have some difficult cases, I usually ask some advice from, and I take consultation by myself from them if I feel that I need more deeper knowledge, let's say in finance or auditing or something like this, I can take some consultancy by myself. So I don't have a pure mentor for myself, but I very often use the knowledge of people who are around me, and sometimes usually even by consultancy or take new courses, like
Yes.
3-4 months courses to update my knowledge, to be more on time and so on, to look how world changed and which new tools I can use during my job.
Beautiful. Is that is made a very important, you said formal or informal mentor? It can be both. It really can formal or informal. It really can be both. Or what the importance is to find the right person. Olena?
Yes, I also wanted to share my experience that as I'm mostly working as an analyst at my consulting company. Um, However, I have accreditation also as a mentor, and there are a couple
Ah.
of projects where I mentor salespeople. Like after monitoring the certain metrics, we can see the results of the teams. So my role is to mentor and guide the people to increase their skills.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much for that. Very impressed. Okay. Um, then I want to, okay, so the first one is, remember, this is the one that I've gone through it. Can you see on my screen there, attitude towards learning and thinking and learning survey?
Yes.
Okay, so remember, this is just, it's 20 questions. There's no time limit. This is just for you. So once it's done, I will look at it this week as well. And with your permission, then if you're okay, I will just drop it, maybe a WhatsApp. Are you all okay if I load you as contacts on my phone, so that if I need a little comment to each one of you, that I can send you a WhatsApp? Are you all okay with that? Okay. So then, Elizabeth?
I want to say that it's okay from my side.
Okay, thank you. So then don't get afraid if you see Krista sent you a message. I just want to then quickly say, okay, this is what I found. And then there's no positive or negative in that. It's just a quick connection with a little feedback that I will do after also assignments with you. Okay, and then if you want to ask any question or respond, you're more than welcome. But I prefer to do that not in the bigger group, but rather on a one-on-one basis. Is there anybody who would prefer not to have that I don't do that? Then I don't do it with everyone. I don't want to make anyone happy about that. I just believe in a personalized approach in terms of learning. Is there anyone that would prefer that I don't do that? Then I know I don't send it to specific people. Nobody? Okay, but if you're always welcome to message me afterwards. Okay, then on the next one is, then there's also on the self on the slide where you've seen bullet 1. Can you see they believe in that you can do it, referred to as the self-efficacy? This is this assignment. Can you see assignment 2 in front of you?
Yes.
Okay, so this is also a scale that is just going to identify, under the first bullet, you can see I've highlighted there. The scale is designed to assess your confidence and belief in your abilities to undertake entrepreneurial activities successfully. For those of you in business, then you look at yourself as an intrapreneur, the INTRA. So it's not to say you must have confidence as an entrepreneur and you don't have a business. Then apply the questions then on, say, if you need to apply entrepreneurial thinking in the business, in the corporate where you are working, do you see yourself as an intrapreneur with entrepreneurial thinking? Okay. Then also it will look into how do you identify potential business opportunities or marketing strategies, or how do you look at financial management or team leadership, problem solving, and resilience. On the third point, there's a scale from 1 to 10, where normally the 1 is close to nothing, in the middle 5, and then up to 10 it shows you have a more orientation to a higher belief in your ability to perform specific entrepreneurial tasks or thinking, and how do you overcome challenges. So this is there's nothing hectic in this. This is a personal exercise. Nobody else is going to see it except you and me. So that and this also shouldn't take you long. Okay. Any questions on this or comments before we go on? This is not a pass. Once you've submitted, you're going to get, I'll work out the points tomorrow. You will, whether it counts 1 point or 2 points, you're going to, if you, the moment you've submitted, you're going to get your full marks for that one. So it's not going to impact anything. Okay. Now, can you see in front of you, there's a slide called Entrepreneurs Are Everywhere. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Yes.
So this we already have discussed. So all around us, there are entrepreneurs. I'm even talking about, I don't know in your countries, but we have entrepreneurs of, we call them gogos, but that's like grandmas, the older ladies who sit next to a taxi rank, when they sit next to the road, and they may buy millies, or they may sell sweets, or so they're not a registered entrepreneur. But they saw opportunity on that corner to go and sell that. And yes, it's a combination of opportunity and a necessity. But those are still entrepreneurs. They get up in the morning, they bring their money home, and they can put food on the table. So that's why whether you're in a corporate, whether you work in a firm, and you have no business, but you have entrepreneurial thinking, you are an entrepreneur. So remember, it's all around you, whether you work in a business or not. Yes, small business owners, those are referred to as self-employed entrepreneurs. Okay. The word, so that you just, those who have entrepreneurship, this will be, I'm sure you would have done that. So that's why my promise is from next week, you're not going to have a repeat. But this week, we're still doing the first chapter of the current book. The terminology of somebody who started a business or a nonprofit is called the founder of the business. So you'll even see on business cards, the person will write CEO/founder. So I have founded a nonprofit called The Difference Maker in 2012. Therefore, I will be listed also in South Africa. It works like that. When we register the company, somebody must be listed as the founder. That's how it works with our business registrations in South Africa. Then you get other type of entrepreneurs that that are family businesses, and they might not be the founder, but the families have started it, and it's going over from one generation to another. Then the second last bullet, the bullet just on top of the red, is another role in entrepreneurship is also referred to as the owner manager. That means is especially with small businesses, many small businesses don't have the money, or their business is not big enough to scale, that they do have to have a lot of employees. So the person is the owner, is the manager, is the employee, is the social media manager. So those where you both the owner and the manager is referred to in entrepreneurship or small business as the owner manager. Any questions or comments on this before we go to the next slide?
Yes, I have a comment. In one of the podcasts from Simon Sinek, he said that we can teach people how to start businesses, how to run companies, but it's not the same as to be entrepreneur. So it's owners of small businesses. They are just owners, but not always entrepreneurs. So, and in my practice, sometimes I meet the people who just to whom I just teach how to run a business, but sometimes I feel that they don't have necessary skills. I don't know how to formulate this more correctly, but I know that in the upcoming 1 or 2 years, if they will not find a good manager, they will close the business because they are not entrepreneurs itself. So it's like Simon Sinek told, it's most about problem-solving skills. So could you please comment this or reply on this question? Is it true or?
It is very true. I can give an own example of myself. Is I've started my consultancy in 2011. It's now 2023. It took me, and I just want to calculate, it took me about 7 years where I was the owner of the business, but I was still at an employee type of thinking. I haven't merged in my mind from employee to being entrepreneurial. I can feel everything in my now. In the last, 5 years, I'm becoming now for the first time opportunity obsessed. Okay, I've learned this concept from somebody, from a mentor of mine, to say, Krista, if you are become an entrepreneur, you need to become opportunity obsessed. That means is for the first time, since in the last 5 years, I can now feel is wherever I go, it's like your eyes start going lasers, like lasers, and says, there's an opportunity, there's an opportunity, there's an opportunity. So I can feel in my own mind, I've never had that. For the first 7 years, I was a business owner, but I was so risk averse. And once you've overstepped that mindset, and that's why the surveys also, I'm going to do the survey myself to see how I've also changed this. Once you've overstepped that mindset from being an owner to an entrepreneur, it is just a different journey you are stepping into. So yes, that is very true. Somebody's hand was up. I'm not sure if it was Yusuf or Matar. Yusuf, was it your hand?
I just like the way
Matar.
you were talking only. I sent you like. That's I like the way you were.
Thank
No
you.
more.
Thank you. And let me tell you, I don't know about those of the entrepreneurs. Maybe those entrepreneurs in the group, you're just successful. But I've lost financially twice everything. And but I've become a better entrepreneur thereafter. And there's not a, you can study every handbook on earth. You can do every course, but in the end, the decisions we take are the school fees we pay at the end of the day. So I'm not sure if everybody in this group are just successful entrepreneurs, but for me, success also means that I don't see it as failure. I've learned there's 100 other ways how can you can do it differently, and don't repeat your first choices that didn't work. Okay. The entrepreneurs in the group, can I ask, are all of you just successful, or some of you also struggled, went through learnings as entrepreneurs? You all just successful?
Learning for sure.
Learning for sure. What was your biggest learning, Matar? If you can share that with the class.
Yes, for sure. Because I have started a small job, or I have shared some of my colleagues a small entrepreneurship, and it took me 2 years studying the market, and I was just first of all doesn't have the enough experience to judge if they are talking only or they have the right experience to start the ownership, the entrepreneurship, and for sure taken some decision while it is my first experience was not always correct, and this helped me a lot in my next phase, or my next journey of entrepreneurship, how to take the decision, when to take it, how to analyze the different experience of people, when to take the right time to do what. So it was all full of experience and lessons, I have to say.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. Okay, so the other two that I wanted to share with you, this is not coming from the Cuts book, but can you see the screen in front of you, the 7 type of entrepreneurs?
Yes.
It's just this is not a it's just what I found is I see a lot of people around me that is, they call it the freedom seeker. It's somebody that really that cannot work from 8 to 5, or cannot work for a specific time, who cannot work for a boss. And for them, it's they need to have their own time. They need to be financially independent. And that's referred to as the freedom seeker. Then the other type of entrepreneur is the creative. That person needs to be creative and create, whether it's stories or beauty or art, or but what's drive them is creativity. The other one is the opportunist. Now, truly, I have an amazing mentor, and I will write you the name. You can Google him. He is His Excellency, Dr. Professor. You can Google him, Tal Eckers. He's my mentor. So you can really Google him. He's an ambassador as well. And he has said to me that, Krista, you need to become opportunity obsessed. And that doesn't mean obsession in this, but to see, don't have blinkers on. Start looking around you. Like Lazette works a lot with entrepreneurs. So I'm sure there's a lot of entrepreneurs who would say, oh, if I can do that business, I can make a success of it. If I can take equity in that business, or can do that. But you start seeing opportunities, and then to say, okay, do I have the passion to do that? Because if the passion is not there, the opportunity is not necessarily going to be successful. Then I don't know if who of you knows, I have a friend, she's a hustler. She can sell anything. whatever opportunity comes on, if she touches it, she makes money. It's like she has golden fingers. So that's what you call the hustler. The digital nomad is really the guy who doesn't want to, or the person who doesn't want to be out full time in business, but put that person behind a computer or a digitized solution, and he or she can go and work in any country. She also wants that, she or he wants that freedom to go and be able to work any place. And then the other one is also those who wants to leave a legacy. So I don't know. So maybe go and reflect on who are you, whether you inside a corporate or outside a corporate, and you can be a combination of more than them. I've looked at this, and I'm definitely a freedom seeker. I'm a creative and a legacy seeker. So I'm a combination of all three. So maybe it's just three of you. What would you say if you look at yourself, whether you're an entrepreneur or whether you're an entrepreneur, which one would you say would you potentially fall into? Just about 3 or 5 of you. Who wants to try?
Professor, can you explain the digital nomad and legacy? Again,
So
please.
the legacies one is to say, for example, we have a group of companies, the difference makers. So we train other entrepreneurs to become difference makers so that they can go in their communities and become difference makers, and in that way leave a legacy of expediting transformation in this world. So my primary one is I want to leave a legacy of making this place a better world and expediting transformation. The digital nomad is that person doesn't want to go and sit in an office. They love to travel. So whether they go and sit on a farm or whether they go and sit in Switzerland or Canada, is whatever their service or product is going to be, is they digitized everything, but they travel. They can go and sit in any country and do what they need to do. Does that help, Ahmed? Okay.
Yes, you did.
So Ahmed, which one do you think you are?
Creative.
Creative. Beautiful.
Because I don't like to stop against problems. I always like to find solutions, try solutions.
Beautiful. So you see, you're entrepreneurial thinking, whether you're in a corporate or outside, eh? Beautiful. Who else want to share what you think you are? Let me ask who hasn't. Nuran, are you on board? Are you there? Nuran? Yes, you can be more than one. So like I've said, I'm a legacy, I'm a creative and a freedom seeker. But my primary one is a legacy, and therefore I set my things up so that I can apply my creativity and that I have the freedom. I'm not a good employee because I break boxes down. So you can be more than one. Who wants to share? Winnie?
Can I? I am digital. I'm digital nomad because I'm working remotely always. I am definitely freedom seeker, and maybe I'm also legacy. Yes, I think so.
Beautiful. Okay. Beautiful. Who else want to give away? Winnie? Try Winnie? Olena?
Yes, I consider that I'm also a freedom seeker and I'm creative. Currently, I have intrapreneurship skills. However, I tend to become entrepreneur. So
Beautiful. Doesn't matter which one you are. All of you are one of the two. You're either an entrepreneur or you're an entrepreneur. And if you're not an, let's say you're working in a corporate and you're not an entrepreneur yet, then it's a question to use this 12 weeks to say, how do you develop certain of your mindset and certain of your way characteristics to become, whether you're in a corporate, become that entrepreneur. Okay, beautiful. Okay, then I'm going to ask some of you to share on the other ones. Then something very close to my heart is what we've done on this screen here. And I just want to take you back. Is on this screen here where we say do well and do good. That one aligns to, and we're going to do more of CSI, also entrepreneurship. We're also going to do more of that in other sessions. So what I do not fully agree on the CSI entrepreneurship is with a statement here is that it only needs to be external to nonprofits or to small businesses. Many of you might work in an organization or a corporate, and through the corporate, you are doing entrepreneur CSI. So think about it that in that way as well, that you get two ways. The one is where you start a nonprofit, and like I have a nonprofit, and some of you in the introduction the previous time have said you also have nonprofits where you do community work. However, some of you in your corporates or in your businesses where you are in the role where you are, in this world we live in, they start to expect that a lot of you also working in business must give back to the community through organizational CSI programs. CSI stands for corporate social community. It can be either corporate social initiative or community social initiative, depending if you're inside the organization or outside an organization. In South Africa, they've replaced the word CSI in terms of legislation. They've replaced the word CSI with SED. I'll just put it in the chat for you. So in most of the corporates, they have replaced it with social. I'm just putting it in the. Okay, they have put it in South Africa. We have a legislation called Broad-Based Black Economic Empowerment, and there they've replaced all the words or references to CSI to SED, which is also socio-economic development. Those of you who work in sustainability or that knows anything about the GRI, global, just want to so those of you who works in sustainability, there's also a drive internationally by the GRI, the Global Reporting Initiative, which is housed in Den Haag in the Netherlands, where all big corporates that become members of the GRI, this Global Reporting Initiative, submit sustainability reports where they specifically, even corporates then or big businesses will then say what have they done in terms of CSI or socio-economic development. Okay, it's just so that you're familiar with both, but it means basically the same thing. It's just two terminologies. Okay, now who of you have nonprofits or through your corporates are involved in non-profit organizations or social ventures initiatives? Muhammad, Yusuf. Tell us a little about, just share with the class, because that is social entrepreneurship. What are you involved in terms of the social, that specific social entrepreneurship initiative? Yusuf?
Okay, so good morning, everyone. So in my company, like my corporate, we have both like social responsibility program. So we have like multiple activities, including let's say water recycling. So because
Okay.
we have a warehouse environment and we provide water bottles for the associates. After
Wow.
that, we collect those bottles and donate them. So we donate them to some organizations, like non-profit organizations. Also,
Beautiful.
we have Partners for Life program with the Canadian Blood Services. So we have champions in our team. So we, in cooperation with the Canadian Blood Services, we organize blood drives.
Wow,
So
beautiful.
this is with my business, and also for sustainability program, my organization is planning by like 2025 to have 100% energy like friendly, like green energy program. So by 2025, all our like buildings will be operated by green energy, solar panels,
Beautiful.
electrical cars, and so on.
Beautiful.
Other than that, I am a volunteer with the Muslim Association of Canada as a like a Partners for Life Champion program also. So I organize blood drives with Canadian Blood Services. And I am emergency responder with the Canadian Red Cross.
Beautiful. Anyone else? Thank you so much for that, Yusuf. Anyone else who's in a corporate, you work for an organization, but you are involved in a social or green entrepreneurship initiative? Let me just explain to you the difference. The social is really where you're involved with the community and people in the community. Where the green initiative, green entrepreneurship, is also those of you who are in corporates in strategic sourcing. So I work with corporates also in strategic sourcing, which some organizations use procurement, or let me just or strategic sourcing. So have you seen that? So when the corporates still procurement, that means they're still very on the more basic type of procurement focuses. Some of you on corporates who are already involved in strategic sourcing. That means is you are falling internationally under organizations called the Chartered Institute of Procurement. Those level of world thinking. There's a question. Those on that level of thinking. So let me just get back to, you are gone now on my screen. Can you all see me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Professor.
Thank you. So those of you are on in corporations, I'm just typing here, corporate entrepreneurship refer to entrepreneurship, but that means is just question that means is in corporates, people the corporates will decide, but not as a small business, but as a corporate, they want their teams to be involved in doing good. So in that sense, you can name it social entrepreneurship from a corporate point of view. Good question. Then on the one that Yusuf has mentioned is, he said they are involved in green entrepreneurship. So what that means is a lot of organizations that falls under SIPS. It's the Chartered Institute. I'm just typing it here for you. Of procurement. That's global and supply. I've typed it in the chat. So a lot of those organizations are start building in their procurement policies to incorporate green supply or green procurement. That is what Yusuf said. They want to replace the electrical cars, or in corporates, they're not going to buy plastic bags anymore, but let's say paper bags, or they're going to replace these things that's bad for the environment with other things. So as part of the procurement future as well, there will be a bigger drive towards green procurement, and therefore there's we must remember, if a corporate drives green procurement, they must buy those things from businesses, whether it is a big business or a small business. So therefore, the more smaller businesses that can fill already niche areas in terms of green entrepreneurship, they will already fill a gap in the market. For by the time the world starts driving the green procurement to align with climate change and environmental sustainability way more. So those are gaps that Yusuf and them have already seen that they are tapping into. Any questions or comments on this before we go on? Okay, then I'm going to go to the, I just want to go to the next slide. Then on this one, this is not the best entrepreneurship slide, but I haven't taken it out. So this is just for information to say there's many types of entrepreneurial small businesses, which all of you know. So for me, the one at the bottom, which I've highlighted for you in yellow, is to say some entrepreneurs really become serial entrepreneurs. So Lazat, do you work with any entrepreneurs that becomes that really has already pivoted, if I can say that, into serial entrepreneurship? That what that means is they have a lot of businesses. Wherever they see an opportunity, they go into.
Yes, I've met with some samples. So it's usually from my experience, people start some business, then they feel shortage in some services or some products, and they launch the second business to close the main problems of the first business. So, and sometimes they grow till the, I had one client who was a small seller after he started to grow till manufacture. So, and in the end, he closed all the steps from manufacture till delivery by himself, almost everything. So in the this time he has 4 different businesses, but they're serving for one big idea, I can say like this.
Okay. Do you have any of your entrepreneurs that are successful serial businesses, serial entrepreneurs?
Only maybe a few.
Okay. What makes them successful?
Mostly the ability to delegate some work, usually, because if you want to be focused on everything by yourself, you will lose the control at all. And you have to have some people who can provide who can manage some part of business, and you should delegate some part of job. Otherwise, you will lose everything you have. Because if it's a very different type of businesses, you cannot be good in everything by yourself. You have to share responsibilities and to focus only on the questions which is really solving problems, but not every and each problem which is rising during the operational process.
Beautiful. So anyone, what she has shared is very, very important. But I also want to just check, are there anyone else in the group that knows serial entrepreneurs that is successful? And what makes them successful? You must just, I can't see your hand, something, I just need to ask Mpilo to come and help me quickly to get my screen back. So just unmute and share, what do you know, what makes them successful? Does any one of you know any successful serial entrepreneurs? Nobody. Okay. So then I'm going to go on. I just want to move on to this one while you find this for me. Okay. So what I want to get quickly to you on the screen, there's one item that I want to bring out for you here in terms of entrepreneurs and growth strategies. Now, what do you think make the difference between a high-performing small business and a traditional small business? What brings the success between the two? Mpilo is just helping me to put my background. Am I gone? I'm here. Okay, thank you. I just want to put my. Why am I echoing? Okay, can you all hear me now? I'm so echoing.
Yes.
Am I not joined twice? Okay. Okay, so while Mpilo is trying to sort this out, can you all hear me? I can't see you on the screen, but I'm going to move from the slide here. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so just a quick question is, and Lizette, maybe you can also come in here. What is your experience of what makes the difference? Not a serial entrepreneur now, but those who are high-performing small businesses versus those who are not. What makes them high-performing?
What is definition of high-performing small businesses?
Let's say, for example, it's not a business. So there's a difference between a business and an organization in entrepreneurship or in a small business. The difference between that is that if you're a business, a lot of small entrepreneurs is actually a jack of all trades, if I can put it like that. If that person makes or breaks the business, so if that person dies tomorrow or gets sick, there's no organization behind the business that can make it go forward because that person was the business. So Yusuf, I also want you to think about everything that you guys doing, whether in entrepreneurship or in a non-profit. So let's say, for example, Yusuf tomorrow becomes very sick or he dies. will the organization behind the business still be able to continue? So let's say for example, Yusuf is the business. If he dies tomorrow or gets sick, everything falls flat. That means in the small business, it never has moved to the next stage where they have put in the organization behind the business. So one thing when we do assessments of entrepreneurs, the first thing we determine, is this a business or is this an organization? That means if Krista gets sick tomorrow and the difference makers is only Krista, that means the difference makers was never an organization. If you're not an organization, therefore your high performance is not coming from a business, it's coming from an individual that is the business. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So therefore, when you develop businesses, is part of the focus is to start putting an organization behind them to say, how will let's say in Yusuf's case, the green energy focus continue? How will the water focus continue? How will this focus continue whether Yusuf is there or not? Only when that organization starts getting in place, then you can start putting in a high performance team that is behind Yusuf, and not a high performance individual that is the business. Yusuf, are you there? Yusuf, are you there? So the thinking that you need to go and do, even you, that works with a lot of businesses, is how do you replicate in a way the organizational things that is in corporate onto a smaller scale in small business? Because there's a reason why bigger organizations work or not work. And almost all of them has started as small businesses. So how do you replicate some of the thinking and best practices onto smaller businesses? Are you all with me?
Yes, actually, I think every business, almost every business starts like a small. And the traditional, I think the difference between them, it's first of all, it's a mission. What kind of purpose the business want to get. So if we are talking, if I understand right, the traditional small businesses, they prefer to just stay stable, but not growing too much. They just, according to this table, it's something that to close needs, only needs. While high-performing small businesses, they are tending to grows very fast, and they are, as much as they grow, they need more people, they need more sources, and they are developing very fast. They have different missions. So let's say like growth for 10% each year, and they are trying to get this goal. So the main difference, I think, it's what kind of task they have and what kind of need they are going to close. And of course, it's about performance. Do they need to grow and they are okay to be small and just to enjoy their life? Because as much higher organization, then much time it takes from entrepreneur to be involved in any way. Even if you have a very good management team, you need to devote much time than, for instance, traditional small businesses do. And I think it's also about people, human resource, and how good the management is working and constructed in the beginning.
Beautiful. And it's also going to say, how do you put the organization then behind the business so that no matter what happens to the business owner, the business can continue. And then in procurement or strategic sourcing, corporates will say, but Krista, go and look for me for those businesses that is sustainable. That means that they can invest in that business in terms of services, buying from them or developing them, but that they know it's not, the business is not going to be here one day and the next day they're gone. And that's what they refer to as sustainable small businesses. Okay. So I know we need to close out, so I want to take you through just one last thing, which is very important, myths about small businesses. There's not enough financing. There is now, this is referred to the US market, but there's lots of ways of financing. In one of the next sessions, we will go a little deeper into, so how does crowdfunding our businesses? What is person to person, that lending? What is drop shipping? And that what is bootstrapping techniques as well. And then I'm going to ask you all in your different countries, what type of financing that you find that is readily available, but people not always looking at that. Okay. The second thing is then to say, to make profits, you need to make something. That's also a myth. There's many ways of making profits, which we're also going to look deeper into some of the other modules. And especially when we get to the finance module, we're going to do practicals on this. On the next one that is for me is very close to my heart. That say, if you fail, you can never try again. It feels to me, every day there's some form of failure if people look at it, and every day you need to just say, okay, but that didn't work, so I'm going to do this differently. Entrepreneurship is one of the non-stop schools of learning. And it's just, you need to get to a point to say, okay, are you a sucker for pain? Or are you now going to learn that certain things work and certain things find 100 other ways of doing it differently. So I always, when we teach entrepreneurs, we reframe it in their minds. Do not look at the certain things as failure, but of learning how to do things differently. The next one is students or the youth or certain groups, whether it's disabled or women or this is where the biases and labels in society. I'm going to bring all of these 5 things in other sessions in as discussion points, is they don't have the skill to start a business. I remember when I moved from a smaller town about 20 years ago to Johannesburg, which is a cosmopolitan town in South Africa. When I resigned at that stage, somebody said to me, Krista, you will never make it there. Somebody's mic is on. So we're also going to look into say, what groups are there in terms of bias? And we specifically are going to talk to youth as well. What are your perceptions in terms of youth? I'm going to take this myths in a different class as well. Then the last one, myths that 90% of all new businesses fail within 2 years. Now, according to the auditors of this book, and this will differ from country to country as well, they say 25% survive 15 years or more. And the majority of businesses do not fail. They close financially successfully. So I want you to go and think about these 5, because one of the assignments that I am going to bring in week 2, I'm going to build around 4 of the 5 around this, to see, so what is your thinking? And then I'll put it together in a sheet to say what is the trend in terms of thinking also in this class, in terms of number 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I am going to bring an assignment on this one in week 2. So that we can see how do you think it from country to country, but also from culture to individuals. Okay. I want to bring you to the last slide. It's just on the assignment. There's a forum 3, assignment 3, forum 1. Now this is the only group assignment, and we're going to close here after. That is there. So every week there will be a group assignment as well. This is only, normally we do it 200 words for the first post. Okay. So what you're going to look at there is to say that I've marked it in yellow for you, is to share your insights on the competencies that you believe are crucial for entrepreneurs. And if you are not an entrepreneur, write it from an entrepreneur. I'm going to come back to you, Winnie, now. Those of you who are not entrepreneurs, don't have your own businesses, you write it, but from an entrepreneur. But then just make it clearly entrepreneur, so that the person who responds to your post or your post in the forum know that you are referring to entrepreneurship versus entrepreneurship. So what do you believe is crucial for entrepreneur at the early stage of their journey? That means whether it's in a corporate or as a small business. You must look at areas such as market research, financial management, and it doesn't have to be long. It's what you think, what you, from your experience and your wisdom and walking your path so far, have experienced. In marketing strategies, networking, adaptability, or leadership skills. So you can draw from your own experience or observations to illustrate the significance of these competencies. You then also can look at what effective approaches and resources can help individuals to acquire and strengthen these competencies. And you can use, so be very innovative and creative in this. What type of learning methods, training programs, or mentorship opportunities that you have found in your journey, whether it's inside a corporate or as an entrepreneur. Those of you who are entrepreneurs, please write it from that perspective, so that you can learn from those in corporate as entrepreneurs, but they also can learn from you as entrepreneurs. So if you are in corporate and you have a business, then write it from the entrepreneur, from the business perspective. On Wednesday, by end of Wednesday midnight, you write a post of 200 words. Then by Saturday, you respond to someone else's, one person in the class, to one person's post. Please don't respond everybody to the same person. Always make sure, if you see there's somebody who hasn't have a response to their post yet, to respond to them as well, so that everybody at least have one response. I will respond to all of your posts then by the Monday. Just give me 2 days. So by the end of the Monday, I will respond to each of your individual posts. Okay, so this week it's really fun posts, fun quizzes. So don't make it more than it is. If you want to ask me a question, send me a WhatsApp. Not necessarily in the group. You can, unless you want the others to learn from that. Otherwise, you're most welcome to send me a private WhatsApp. Any questions or comments before we close out? Can you hear me?
Yes, no questions from my side.
Okay, I can't.
Could I
Yes?
ask
Thank you, Professor. Thank
some
you.
question, Professor? Now I have found assignment 1, 2, 3. They may be the different due date, right?
We're going to change the due date. I will check if Mpilo have changed it to next Sunday at midnight. Okay,
Professor,
but-
all assignment we have to do during our 1 week, no?
It will be better because then we can finish in each week and go on to the next week, unless. So what I will only say is for the first week, finish next Sunday. But I'm going to redesign all the things this week to take into account the previous course and this one. If there are like hectic assignments, there we will give more time. There we can look at, let's say, 2 weeks, but I only will do that this coming week because I need to map the 2 courses and then see how am I going to please don't continue with week 2 because we're going to take it off and redesign it so that you don't have to repeat anything.
Yes, Professor, thank you.
Okay, Winnie, for the second point, even the service, my profits, big of time, could you let me, Winnie, just ask quickly and then I'll close out. Okay, to make profits, you need to make something. So just Winnie, on those things, it's some people don't make stuff. They buy and they on sell. So they don't have to go and manufacture that to make money. Other people like myself, I do training and I have a non-profit and we do consulting. So their time is you charge your time. What is your time, or you charge per course? But we haven't manufactured or made anything to make a profit. Some people will take somebody who has made something, like let's say you have a friend that makes food, and you go to help your friend, you take that and you go and on sell and you take a percentage. So you don't have to make something yourself to make a profit. Does that help, Winnie? Okay.
What should you continue to do after graduating?
I can't hear.
Bill Gates saying, wanting to focus on.
Winnie, I can't hear properly. If you maybe just want to say it again. You got it. Otherwise, just send me a private message, Winnie, with a voice note, then I can respond to you as well. Okay. Okay, so let's close out. Are you all sure what you need to do in the week? Yes? Okay, if there's anybody who struggle with anything or want to discuss anything, please send me a WhatsApp. I'm very available and I'm patient. Just remember there's a time difference so that you don't think I'm ignoring you. But I will come back to you within in a day. Okay. May God bless you all this week, and may you go and do good and be well and touch somebody's life wherever you go every day this week.
Thank
Bye-bye,
you,
everybody.
Professor.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank
Bye-bye,
you so much.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Mpilo?
Hi. Welcome back. Do you have any
Mpilo, don't you want to help me here, please? I don't know how to do the recording. I don't want to leave loose. I don't know where I'm. I don't know. Huh? Please next time not be late. I couldn't find it. I got in by. This looks like the president. Okay. Have you changed the dates? To what? Am I still here? Yes. So couldn't. I need to see if there's everybody. Huh? Couldn't find the other place. That's why I was in such a panic. When you went there. Can you ask her to end the meeting? She can't. We need to end it. Where's the